Hi, this is the iDuc here, and today we're going to do a rear brake pad replacement on my wife's XC90. So the first thing I want to do if you're working on a new XC90 to do brakes is you got to make sure it's in the right settings. So if the car has air suspension, which ours does, you've got to lock the air suspension. So we're going to go under my car, and then we're going to go under parking brake and suspension. And then you want to say disable leveling controls. All right, and now that means that the car is not going to lower when we turn off the car. So this is T-Gamer, what's your name? T-Gamer what?
21.
This is T-Gamer 21.
My name's Orangutan.
T-Gamer 21 Orangutan?
No, just Orangutan.
Or just Orangutan. My son, 11-year-old, burgeoning or learning car mechanic from the iDuc. He's going to help me change the brakes on our Volvo XC90. Okay, so first thing he's doing is what?
I'm lining it up to the brake point.
Yes. Okay.
Right here.
Good.
Just about.
Good. So the first thing you want to do is you just press the foot pedal down there. Foot pedal first. That raises up. Down. It's going to start rising up. And you push it till it contacts it first. Isn't it good? It's nice and centered?
No.
Pull. There you go. Good job. So he's going to jack up the car. Now he's not going to jack it up all the way. He's just going to get the weight off of it. So you got the weight off of it like that? Good? You got in your hand?
I have the thing to take off the lug nut covers.
So how's it work? Slides on. You'll hear click and pull it out. Just pull it straight out. There you go. And it's easier to have things perfectly horizontal. Go ahead. There you go. Just to get the wheel off the ground. Go ahead. One thing is that you definitely want jack stand, so I put it right at the suspension mounting point. I actually don't have any weight on it, just touching. All the weight is still going to be carried by the main jack, but it's just a safety. So we're going to finish removing the wheels. My son is taking the wheels off. Let me tell you a little bit about this car. It's a 2017 XC90 Volvo. It is a T8. It has a 4-cylinder supercharged and turbocharged engine in the front, and it has a battery electric motors in the rear. The battery configuration on pure mode gives you about 20 miles range, which is good for in-town stuff. And then normally for hybrid mode, you can average pretty good mileage with this car. Definitely much better than we had before the Audi Q7. One curious thing though is that I'm noticing that the rear brakes were out really quick compared to fronts, and my suspicion is that since the engine is in the rear, the electric motor does regen, it probably does some sort of blend with the rear brakes, and that's why the rear brake pads are wearing out much faster than the fronts.
Loosen this, take off the caps.
Yes, so you take off the caps. A little rubber cap. Go ahead, do the second one. And it just seals the caliper bolts. And then what we're gonna do next is actually take off the electric motor first.
One right here.
Yep.
Then one in the back. Maybe put the camera.
Yep, and one back down there. Good job.
Right
and it's a
here.
T30 TORX screw, so he's gonna loosen those two up. And that'll remove the electric actuator, which uses the brake caliper pads as your electric parking brake. As a total side, if you drive this car, there is a mode that when you turn the car off, it'll automatically engage the parking brake. Make sure you turn that off when you're gonna work on the car. So he's got a T30 here. He's gonna get it engaged first on the torque wrench, and then he's gonna actually clip on the thing and loosen it up. So it's T30. So there he goes. He's loosening up that first pin. All right, so he's loosening up that second one. He'll then do the rest by hand just because we want to make sure it's safe and easy. All right, one thing before you squeeze the calipers or anything, there's a brake fluid reservoir. I'm just gonna take off the cap, makes it a little bit easier to do. And I'm gonna put a little cloth here next to it so that when we squeeze the caliper, it it'll catch any overflow. Looks like it's pretty good though, but just in case, put a little fluid around it, a little cloth around it, have the cap off, and then when we squeeze the caliper in a few moments, this could slowly rise up and
I'm
over.
going to pop out this pin.
You're just gonna slide underneath, put your hand over top so it's gonna fly across the room, and it should pop out nice and easy. That's it, pop it out. Good, and then take the whole spring out. That spring holds the caliper down, and put tension on in the front. Can't put your finger over it or hand over so it doesn't go flying in your face or knock on. Careful. Just jiggle, it should come out alright, it's really easy. Once you got the one side off, the other side should come out. There, put it on, it'll come out. See, it just starts nice, see? Now, be careful when you come out, right? So you don't want to crimp the tube, right? So slide all the way up. There you go, up, out. There you go. Make sure something's holding it,
And then now we take out this pad
good job. Just toss it aside.
and this pad.
Good. Now what's the next step? What's the next step?
Next step is you want to take a cloth, not your hands, don't use anything, and you want to screw, like, put it over and this little thing on top, and then turn it to the right until it can't turn anymore.
Right. So you're turning this actuator clockwise. The actuator gets turned by electric motor, which tightens the piston to engage the caliper for the electric parking brake. So he's hand tightening it, and it'll just keep on tightening until it bottoms out. And then once it bottoms out, that resets the parking brake. We then have to manually compress the piston. Okay, so he's first doing this part, okay? Tell me when you're ready.
Yep, done.
Okay, so next step is we're gonna manually compress the piston.
You want to put a cloth on top so that you don't damage the piston.
And then this, you know, you can use a C-clamp, but we're actually using a large oil filter wrench, and we're just gently squeezing, and it's actually gonna slowly compress the piston.
Until the piston becomes flat.
Is it going? It is slowly moving. You see that? You see how the gasket here is starting to get flatter? It's starting to accordion on itself? That means you're doing a good job. Do you want me to help you, or are you doing fine?
Can you help me?
Now you can see that the piston is flat, that the gasket is accordioned. Here I hand tighten the back side here. So now we got to put on the brake pad. So just clean this piston here with your cloth. Clean that piston place with a cloth. Just clean off the dust. And then we'll go prepare the pistons, okay? I mean the brake pad.
So we got that into position. So now make sure your torque is on tightening. You want to hold the bottom part, pinch it. And on the first one that you do, don't tighten it all the way. Tighten it just before it's all the way tight, so that in case the other side doesn't work, it's not all the way screwed in.
So what you mean is you want to seat the caliper into the carrier properly on both sides and then tighten them square. Don't bang your hand. There you go. Now do the other one.
Okay.
All right, we'll do a daddy check before we do the next step. Once you think it's tight. What's next now?
Now we're gonna put the caps back on.
And then what about the spring on the front?
The spring on the front.
So the brake set came with a brand new spring. It actually doesn't fit that well, so we just could use the old spring. The old spring works fine. Just want to make sure you get enough tension on it, and you pop it into place. And it just holds the caliper on the front side.
Okay, now let's put back this guy.
So the gear's gonna go right in there. That's it.
Go in the front.
No, that's it. Just like that.
I have to put this over there. Okay.
Make sure it's nice and square so the two bolts line up and screw on. So we're just gonna hand tighten it a little bit, make sure the other one goes on, and then we're gonna tighten it. So that one's engaging. So do the back one. So he's tightening it up.